Hallo Leute und willkommen zurück in einer weiteren Folge Genshin Impact. Ich habe gerade unterbrochen, dass unsere Masho jetzt versucht sich zu strecken. So Leute, ich würde sagen, es geht los. Wir haben die nächste Folge und wir starten jetzt... Warte mal, wie viel muss ich da sein? Am nächsten Tag um 20 Uhr. Wir müssen also den ganzen Tag jetzt überspringen. So, um 20 Uhr Leute, wir machen jetzt 20:36 Uhr. Das wird auf jeden Fall jetzt faszinierend, das bin ich gespannt, was uns alles so erwarten wird. Ich habe, wie gesagt, in der letzten Folge sie ein bisschen verkürzt, damit wir jetzt uns voll und ganz auf den Kampf konzentrieren können. Auf geht's. Wo müssen wir hin? Geh zur Zeremoniehalle. Okay. Jetzt wird's interessant. Vor allem, ich bin mal gespannt, ob es bei der Zeremoniehalle vielleicht diese Cutscene? Weil es in jeder Legendenquest war ja ein Kampf. Ah, na da. In jeder Legendenquest war immer auch so eine kleine Szene. Habe ich keinen Kampf gesagt? Bin mir jetzt nicht sicher, aber es war immer eine Szene mit dabei. Bin mal gespannt, was für eine Szene da kommt.
We gather on this day to perform once more
Auf geht's,
the
Leute.
rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect and reverence throughout the proceedings. Representing the Temple of Silence, the Defenders.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decisions, Ethos.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather. Just leave it to me.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
Ready. We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of battle. We come not to debate what brings our challengers here, nor what will become of the defeated duelists. Duelists, the might of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now, fight. Fight until the rightful victor is proclaimed.
Huh? Are you sure?
I agree. She's very strong. Sending her out first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
We have decided.
So have we. Let's begin.
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward.
Okay, wir kämpfen zuerst.
Don't forget, safety first! Hey, you there! You better play nice with her. Paimon will make you regret it!
Ach, ich habe meine Dendro-Fähigkeiten. Ich habe auch ein anderes Schwert. Hä?
A swift end to the first bout. I now invite the duelists of the second bout to please step forward. When you're both ready, you may begin.
Let's begin.
Ich möchte jetzt gerade zu gerne wissen, was für eine... Ich hatte gerade eine interessante Waffe. Ich kann die Waffe... Ja, jetzt habe ich hier meine Waffe. Verdammt, das war eine andere Waffe.
He drank plenty of water before the bout, so he should be fine.
Keep up. Can't see? And Shroud!
Okay. Haben wir auch geschafft.
Thus ends the second bout. We will now move to the third bout. Duelists, please step forward.
I'm ready.
So am I.
Jetzt ist krass.
This is the final stage of the rite. I remind you both that the terms you agreed upon in advance are binding. When you're both ready, you may begin.
I am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis, grandson of Bamun, the leader of the Temple of Silence. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, when we could not see a way forward, we chose not to abandon hope, but to embark on a brave new experiment so that we might prevail. We earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power, longing to see his spirit and his light descend upon us. Now, I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power!
I am Sino, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spontamod. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation. And you, I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching. So bare your soul.
Everyone, old and young, fit and frail, they're all waiting to see how this duel will end. My grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler who is not afraid to get blood on his hands. I understand his beliefs well, and I know what he expects of me. But our faith has held us back for too long. After I grew up, I went to the rainforest once, and I saw for myself the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of Sumeru are happier and more free now than in the past. I thought about this as I stood at one of the tallest points in the city, gazing down at the streets below. Then I thought of you, Sino. You and I both wield the same power, but the lives we lead could not be more different. Each Ba fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different. Might, glory, and one of many other secrets that have yet to be revealed. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer, and I am still searching for mine.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us, shaped the course of our lives. We are his vessels, and yet we are more besides. So show me your answer, Sino. Show me I can be more than my faith, more than the power I wield. Show me the person I can become! Bring it on!
That's all you've got? What happened is searching for your answer. Fight's over. Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
I give his glory to you.
I've seen that light. That is the light of our Lord, the great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tule-Tula. There, they founded the Temple of Silence, and from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the desert. One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of Tule-Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tynarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tule-Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory. The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our Lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tule-Tula Tynarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tule fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet, today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
Warte, was? Er ist im Sitzen gestorben? Wow, krass. Damit habe ich jetzt nicht gerechnet, Leute. Er ist im Sitzen gestorben.
Grandfather.
Hey, Sethos. You'll get through this.
I know. I'll miss him.
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, he's been on death's door for a very long time now. I think it was only through sheer willpower that he managed to hold on to this point. At least, he was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanubis fragments. That entitles you to be our new leader, Sino.
But that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia. I did foresee this possibility, and I gave it some thought. The fact is, I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here. As such, I am ill-suited to be your leader, Sethos. I believe the honor should go to you. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now. I'm sure Bamun never meant for anyone but you to be his successor.
You really think so?
I do.
Still, I didn't think Bamun looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos, I would like you to succeed Bamun as the new leader of the Temple of Silence. You are more suited to the role than I, and I have complete faith that you will be an excellent leader. Just think of it as doing me a favor.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that the Academia and the Temple of Silence will become partners once more. That's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed. You have to believe that things can change for the better here at the Temple too.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamun's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel. That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis would be concentrated in one single person. Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple, much less integrate the temple into the academia by force. He knew that the temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that, it would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. We had to find a way to mend our relationship with the academia. In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Sino. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will grant the honor of access to the Temple of Silence for their pursuit of knowledge. The Temple of Silence has a wealth of information on King Deshret's civilization, more than any other organization in existence today. In times when you need information that only we can provide, we will be here to support you. But you must be exceedingly careful with your selection of candidates, lest you lead humanity to repeat the same mistakes. By the way, Tainari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. You are a descendant of the Veluka Shuna, and we are the heirs to the will of Hermanubis. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tainarians and appointed him as his familiar. He went on to fight many valiant battles with his Tainarian companions. They always stood by each other, from the founding of the Temple of Silence to the fall of Tuletula. The Tainarians who left Tuletula joined their human counterparts in the rainforest. A few centuries later, when some of the group returned to the desert, many of the Tainarians chose to stay and put down roots in the rainforest. In all likelihood, those were your ancestors.
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tainarians, but I never knew that my forebears had such a history with the Temple of Silence.
I like this story.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
Yes, Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but I think he still has many fond memories of my grandfather.
If it's true that you and your grandfather really planned for everything to turn out this way, then I guess he didn't really resent Cyrus as much as he appeared to.
Who knows? Perhaps all of us. You, me, and Cyrus. We're all just pawns in my grandfather's plan to set things straight. He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions when history is at a crossroads. I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali, and arrange for an official delegation from the academia to come and meet you in the desert. I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead, but once things return to normal, please come and visit the rainforest again. You should stay for a few days this time, and start to build some relationships. If we're going to work together, both sides have to get to know one another better.
I will. All right, well, bye for now, everyone. I'll be seeing you.
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
Leute, ich muss echt zugeben, ich finde es wirklich krass, dass Nahida jetzt sogar ein-, zweimal erwähnt wurde. Natürlich auf ihren anderen Namen. Aber sie wurde erwähnt. 400 Meter? Wo bist du? Ach, lol. Ah, okay. Wir müssen wir sind wieder zurück in der Stadt. Wir gehen also wieder zurück, Leute. Das heißt ein kleines, wir sind gleich fertig. Wir sind gleich fertig. Oh mein Gott. Sinus Legendenkurs ist gleich zu Ende. Das waren also so gesehen schon wieder 4 Folgen, Leute. Es ist crazy. Es ist richtig crazy, wie lange die Legendenquests auf einmal gehen. Ich kann mich erinnern, am Anfang, zum Beispiel mit Jean und so alles, bei Jeans Legendenquests und so, das waren, glaube ich, sogar, es gab Legendenquests, aber habe ich nur 2 Folgen gebraucht, glaube ich. Bin mir jetzt nicht sicher, das ist übelst lange her, Leute. Das ist wirklich verdammt lange her. Mit den eine Sphäre, nice. Mit den Legendenquests, Leute, das ist wirklich verdammt lange her, aber mich überrascht es, wie lange die jetzt gehen. Davor, ich glaube, am Anfang waren es wirklich so 3 bis 2, dann wurden es mal 3 und jetzt auf einmal sind es sogar schon 4 Folgen. Aber ich muss aber auch echt zugeben, in Sumero ist sowieso immer Leute, die quatschen immer richtig viel. Die reden wirklich richtig viel.
What were you thinking gallivanting off into the desert alone at your age? What if you take the bucket, You told not a soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling frantically to try and figure out how on earth to clean up the colossal mess you'd made.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling? What other choice did I have?
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all your years of learning, and sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some hot-headed 20-year-old adventurer? A one-man suicide mission, That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it? It astounds me that you survived the journey, and you're lucky that Ba Moon didn't finish you off when you arrived.
All right, all right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like you wish you'd been there to lend him a hand. Does it mean nothing to you that I'm your colleague and former classmate?
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh-and-blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General Mahamatra from being stripped of his powers. Okay, look. Fine, I admit it, I was in the wrong. How can I make it up to you? What about, a month's work at the Academia?
1 month? Try 3.
Tighnari's master is really laying into Cyrus. Let's give them a wide berth.
Professor brought this on himself. Don't pay any attention to him.
Wow, I haven't seen Master get this riled up in a long time. The last time he chewed someone out like this must have been back when I was still a student.
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. Want to come with me? We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat. You in?
Makes sense. I'm in.
Paimon's coming too! Let's go!
Okay, Leute, wir müssen das jetzt zu Ende machen, weil ich glaube, die Legendenquest müsste jetzt gleich jeden Moment zu Ende sein. Wir müssen das auf jeden Fall... Oh, Leute, da ist schon wieder ein neues altes Gesicht. Alter, Halleluja. Hallo? Wir müssen es zu Ende machen, Leute, auch wenn es wieder länger dauert.
Hey, Kale.
You're back! Well, look who we have here. Would you mind explaining to me what has been going on this past few days? I heard you all ran off into the desert and got embroiled in a major catastrophe.
All taken care of.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. Yes, and you too. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block. Don't you think it would have made sense to involve me? And let's not forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Now would not be a good time to attempt to argue with Farazan.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
Kale, please do something.
He's giving me the signal. All right, guess it's time to play my ace in the hole. Say, Madam Farazan, I can see you're pretty upset, but, I was just wondering,
remember that time you offered to give me a tour of the academia? Does that offer still stand?
Huh? Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Well, of course the offer still stands. Come on. Madame Farozan will show you around the old classrooms.
Poor Kale getting dragged off like that. Also, check out Farozan acting like some sort of official academia tour guide.
Kale, cup.
Huh? What? Oh, right!
What do you mean, cup? You need a cup. I can get you a cup.
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school, and it's become something of a family tradition now.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. 2 people left. Let's bring them along too.
Okay, Leute, ich würde tatsächlich sagen, wir brechen jetzt doch ab. Also ich habe das dumme Gefühl, es wird doch noch eine Weile dauern, bis wir jetzt mit dem weiter reden. Weil jetzt holen sie noch die anderen, ich weiß genau, welche 2 sie auch noch aufsuchen und mit denen reden, weil die waren ja auch dabei und haben uns geholfen. Ja, Leute, ich würde sagen, das war's mit der Folge. Also es gibt tatsächlich jetzt doch eine halbe Folge. Ich denke mal nicht, dass jetzt die ganze Folge dauern wird, die Legendenquest von Cyno. Ich würde aber tatsächlich sagen, dass wir dann so machen, nach der Legendenquest machen wir direkt dann das Event. Würde ich tatsächlich sagen. Mal gucken, wie lange das mit Cyno dauern wird noch. Aber das war's. Danach kommt dieses schicke, schöne Event. Nach Cynos Legendenquest werden wir dann direkt das Event starten. Und ich würde sagen, bis dahin, euer Masho, bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschaußen.